Hey guys, Mike here from Movie Nation.
Today I'll tell you about the movie The Chase, which one was released 1994. Jack Hammond arrives at the gas station to pump gasoline into the tank and buy cigarettes for the road. He pays the bill at the checkout when two policemen enter the store. Their appearance makes the man nervous, but he tries not to show it and asks the cashier to give him the change faster, but he has difficulties. The cashier tries to unpack a stack of change, but accidentally spills coins, which attracts the eyes of the police. After hearing on the radio about the theft of a silver Volkswagen Rabbit, the cops notice a car of the same make and color on the street. They ask Jack if he drove it, to which the man replies that he is a pedestrian. Meanwhile, the cashier finishes collecting change on the floor, grabs the customer by the throat, and puts a chocolate bar to her back, pretending that it is a gun. He tells the cashier to take away the police guns and put them in his pockets. Taking a real gun out of his pocket, Jack threatens that he will kill the girl if the cops don't let him leave. He takes the hostage and drives off in her red in one of the patrol cars. A show about the life of Newport police officers is being filmed. The heroes of the plot claim that there is enough crime in this city, but there is not as much of it here as happens in megacities. On the radio, the hijacking and kidnapping are announced again, and the police, along with the reporter and the cameraman, give chase. Natalie, Jack's hostage, asks him to let her go and keep the car for himself, but he can't do it because she is his insurance. However, he assures the frightened girl that he doesn't mean her any harm and will let her go as soon as they are both safe. When a guy wants to smoke a cigarette, Natalie snatches out a cigarette lighter and attacks him, cauterizing the skin on his neck, causing the guy to lose control for a while and meanders in the oncoming lane. In the end, he forces the girl to step back, but the cigarette lighter falls on the seat between Jack's legs, and the interior of the car is filled with smoke. Thanks to this hitch, the police manage to get a little closer to them, and Jack has to leave the roadway on the sidewalk. He shouts at pedestrians to get out of the way and tries not to injure anyone. And when the car returns to the track again, Natalie realizes that she is about to throw up and sticks her head out the window. The police think that she is trying to give them a signal, but they immediately understand what's going on when everything the girl had for breakfast flies into the windshield of the patrol car. Suddenly, Jack finds out that he has kidnapped not just a girl from a gas station, but the daughter of an industrial magnate, Dalton Voss. He realizes that he cannot escape from the chase within Newport, especially since now everyone will decide that he deliberately kidnapped the billionaire's daughter to demand a ransom, so he drives onto the interstate highway leading to the Mexican border and informs Natalie that she will have to leave with him. Meanwhile, Dalton Voss, having learned about the abduction of his daughter, arrives at the station and tries to find out if the police are doing everything possible to save Natalie. Employees finally manage to establish the identity of the criminal the day before Jack was convicted and sentenced to 25 years in prison for armed bank robbery, but escaped while transporting prisoners. The police are connecting all available patrols and a helicopter to his capture, and the news about the fugitive criminal and the kidnapping of the tycoon's daughter is already being played on all federal channels. During the chase, there are several accidents involving civilian cars and an anatomical theater truck, from which artificial, but realistic and scary corpses fall out onto the road. Jack, once again trying to calm Natalie down, tells her that he hates violence and the accusation is false. At the time of the bank robbery, he lived on the other side of town and worked as a clown at children's parties. The real robber just dressed up as a clown, and Jack's neighbor reported him to the police because she saw him in a similar costume. During a search of the apartment, the police found the suit and arrested him in order to close the case as soon as possible. Dalton Voss contacts Natalie to see if she's okay. The man offers Jack a ransom of $50,000 but is refused in response. Dalton, along with his wife, Natalie's stepmother, finds time to tell his daughter that she has been disappointing him lately, but Jack quickly gets bored of it. He intervenes in their conversation and stands up for his hostage. Natalie remains shocked by this gesture because no one had ever allowed himself to talk to her father in such a tone before, and even more, so no one stood up for her in front of him. Jack's lawyer, having heard the news about his client, contacts the police and assures that Natalie is safe because Jack will not harm her for anything, and then calls Jack himself. He asks him to stop the car and surrender, but the guy, of course, refuses because he was convicted unfairly, and besides, now, in addition to robbery, theft of two cars, shooting at police officers and intentional kidnapping will be added to his charges, which means that instead of 25 years he will be given a life sentence. Later, Jack receives another call and is very surprised when the person on the other end introduces himself to him as a news correspondent and offers him to give an interview live, and Jack even agrees. Meanwhile, two guys passing by, seeing the chase, decide to become heroes and catch the criminal on their own. However, their plan soon fails. They arrange a major car accident and blow up their own car, but they themselves remain alive. Natalie finds out that the gun Jack threatened her with at the gas station was just a candy bar and begins to understand his words, that he can't stand violence. Feelings are born between them. Natalie shares a chocolate bar, feeds it to Jack and treats the wound on his neck, which she herself left, and Jack admits that, when he saw her in the store before the abduction, he immediately thought that under other circumstances he would have met her and asked her out. The girl begins to ask him about his personal life and finds out that the last 2 years spent waiting for the verdict, he was completely free, and then kisses him and offers to make love right in the middle of the road without looking up from the steering wheel, and the police on their tail are lost in guesses why the car suddenly began to wobble instead of the route in a straight lines. A little later, Natalie informs that she herself wants to go to Mexico with him because there is nothing holding her here. She offers to demand a large ransom from her father so that there is something to live on for the first time, and Jack, thinking about this proposal, suddenly notices that the highway is completely empty. When they reach the Mexican border, the guys realize that the road is completely blocked and a bunch of police cars and a couple of bulldozers are crowding right in front of them, blocking the passage. Natalie panics again and asks Jack to do something, and he turns around, goes off the highway to the side of the road, and breaks through the metal fence. Jack is overcome by his conscience, and he stops the car, not wanting to ruin Natalie's life, because if he takes her with him, she will have to hide from the police for the rest of her life. From all sides, they are immediately surrounded by police, reporters and 2 helicopters. Jack gives the girl a gun stolen from a policeman at a gas station, asks her to get out of the car and not put herself in danger anymore, and Natalie reluctantly fulfills his request. The guy decides to spend his last minutes at liberty with music and a cigarette in his teeth, after which he goes outside and pretends to get a weapon from behind his back, and the police react quickly and launch a series of bullets at him, which causes Jack to tragically die on the spot. However, this turns out to be just a figment of Jack's imagination, and in reality he doesn't even have anything to light a cigarette with. He gets out of the car with his hands up and lets himself be arrested. But Natalie can't let the police put her lover away and decides to act. She takes a gun out of her purse, takes a reporter hostage, and threatens to kill him if they don't let Jack go. And to prove the seriousness of her intentions, she blows up a police helicopter with one shot, and after waiting for the cops to release the guy, she tells everyone to stay in their seats. Together with Jack and the pilot, she gets into the helicopter of the film crew, and they fly away. And a few days later, Jack and Natalie are peacefully drinking cocktails and relaxing on the beach in Mexico City. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Guys, if you want to support us, click the red button below. See you next video.